Everybody got your mics on? Are we live, Ken? We're live.
Mine's on.
You ain't gonna sit down, go wait. That's a long minute.
You're gonna have to stand right back up.
That's a long minute.
Oh, there, it hit 2. Here we go.
Heavenly Father, we just come before you this evening or this morning. Being this is the last meeting of the year, Lord, we just ask that you help the judge and the magistrates and those in authority here to wrap up the things of this year's operations. Now, Father, we believe that everything will be done decently and in order, and everything will be done for the betterment of the people in Union County, because we ask it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Brother Manning.
Thank you, Mr. Manning. Merry Christmas, sir. Good morning, everybody, and Merry Christmas.
Back to you.
Yes, sir. I assume that everybody has had an opportunity to look over the minutes. Are there any corrections or additions that need to be made? Seeing none, the minutes will stand approved as presented. First on the agenda this morning is our 2020 clerk's budget. It seems odd to be saying a new decade. Wow, that got away from us, didn't it? So our Union County Clerk, Garrett Thompson, is here with us for the 2020 proposed budget. Garrett, I'll yield the floor. If you don't care, I'll let you come up and share one of these microphones, or you can have mine or anybody's you care to.
Share, please.
Okay.
Good morning. I hope everybody has a copy of the budget. If you don't, let me know. I've got a couple extra copies here with me. And I also hope you've had some time to review that as well. There's not a whole lot of changes, but one big change that you will notice. Yes, sir.
I don't believe I
Need a copy.
I got the shares.
I thought they were in the folder.
No.
They weren't in the folder?
Thank you.
Yeah, I stuck them in y'all's little cubbies.
Huh.
I just got all my stuff on my
Here we share.
You gonna have one, did you?
All right, we're sharing.
I thought I saw them in there.
Jim's
Yeah,
in.
Mick.
You guys
I got one.
Okay.
You got,
You do? I
Yeah.
got mine.
You had yours too?
Yes, sir.
yeah.
You did a good job.
Thank you, sir. Good job. One big change that you will notice that I think you guys, it's a change that you'll like to see are, which again, this is proposed, but proposed excess fees are up $51,000 from proposed excess fees from 2019. I think the number that you'll see there for proposed excess fees for 2020 is $128,737. Last year, proposed excess fees were around $77,000. So I'm sure you're wondering why there is such a drastic increase in excess fees. New fees are going into effect 2020 statewide in the clerk's office on the recording side. To my knowledge, it's been 30 years since they've raised fees on that side of the office, and this is good news for the clerk's office. Most of the excess fees will get to stay in the clerk's office. So we're excited about that, and as I've shared with you guys, it should mean that the excess that I'm able to turn over to the court in 2020 should be a little bit more than last year, and hope to be able to do that for years ahead. So like I said, other than that, that's the big change. Most of what I anticipate to be increased income can be based from those excess fees. Be happy to answer any questions that you guys may have, but hope that you would entertain a motion to approve the 2020 proposed budget.
I think we, from our standpoint, we accept it, not approve it. So that's our responsibility, is to accept the budget. So I think probably we'll have some questions, but to be in proper order, I'll entertain a motion to accept the proposed 2020 clerk's budget. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion second. Now, any discussion or questions?
You-
Obviously for Garrett.
You want to give us a few of the items that fees went up on?
Yeah, just, I'll give you a couple of big ones, deeds and mortgages. Right now, deeds are $17, and it's $3 for each additional page. The new fee structure, it's gonna be $50, and that $50 encompasses 30 pages. Mortgages were $17, $3 for each additional page. Mortgages are going from 17 to 80. Now, to my knowledge too, these sound, and they are, they're pretty drastic spikes, increases. Again, this is not a Union County Clerk's Office increase, this is a statewide, this is a Kentucky fee increase. From what I've heard too, this gets Kentucky more on par with Ohio, Tennessee, and what other contiguous states are charging for those recordings. And like I said, the good news is, I'll tell you right now, for a deed of that 17, the clerk's office gets to keep 7. With the increase going to 50, 30 of that 50 will stay in the clerk's office. So there's a $10 document storage fee that's also included inside that fee increase. Any document that's recorded in the clerk's office, like I said, of that 50, 10 of that goes to document storage. And one of the big overarching goals of this fee increase, one of the big responsibilities of my office is to make sure that records are preserved forever. So, one of the goals of that is for clerk's offices to spend a little bit more money, maybe that, in our case, would be the basement, making sure that those records stay preserved. The good news too is the irony of that is the goal of that is for us to use some of that money to help preserve records, but there's a lot of grant money that's out there as well to help with things like that, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to use that grant money to do projects like that we have in mind.
Okay. Are those increases already in effect?
No, sir. January 1st, 2020.
January 1st.
Yes, sir.
So if somebody complains, we can say it was mandated by the state, not by Gary Thompson or his
That's
office
right.
or the Union County Fiscal Court. It was mandated by the state of Kentucky.
And we try to get out in front of that. Anybody that we do business with a lot, especially our local county attorneys and anybody else that's in the clerk's office a lot for recording purposes, we've made sure they're aware that, January 1st, 2020, this new fee structure is going to be.
Does that apply like to wills and stuff too?
Yes, and if you want a list, I've got a list. I can easily print that off in my office if you want to scan through that. It will give you a breakdown of, what the new fee will be, and it will show of that total amount. It shows how it's broken down and where that money
I
goes.
don't have too many days left,
If you want
I was wondering where you were going at. I thought that sounded kind of morbid there for a minute.
$17 for the deed and $3 additional page. How many pages is it normally the average?
It just depends. It varies. Just
So they're gonna get 30 pages for 50, but most of them ain't gonna be nothing like that.
will it be 50 pages? Did I say 30?
You said 30.
Yeah,
30
it will
pages.
include 50 pages. Yeah.
Any I've had are 3 or 4.
That's
at
what
the
I'm
moment.
thinking.
I was
That's
gonna
what I
say,
think most of it.
Yeah, 5 pages would catch most of them, I would
Yeah.
assume.
Right.
I was just trying to see an average deed would cost
I
them
need to change.
now compared to the 50
Way,
complaints.
So I guess this came from the Secretary of State's office, correct, or department, or the Commission for Elections, or it would have been
Just
Secretary?
new legislation. And what I've heard too, this is something the banks have been pushing for. Because again, this gives some more uniformity. They're not having to factor in, well, with these additional pages, what's the fee going to be? It's just kind of a flat rate fee structure now. So-
And to be fair, last 18, I'm thinking 2018, we heard from the Transportation Cabinet, and their fee structures haven't increased since like 1972. So I think we're probably going to see a lot of these for the departments coming down and legislation that'll try to help adjust these fees. So appreciate that update.
You're welcome.
Garrick, I appreciate your update too and keeping us posted on the voting machines. I know it might be a big expense we're gonna have to deal with in the coming years, so anything new on that or on that?
Well, I mean, that's, since you brought it up, that's something I've thought about with this increase in,
We can't go any further
in
with this.
excess fees. I thought about maybe we could use that to, somehow creatively start that process. Either a slow rollout or, we can talk about that, but I've talked to Adam about that a little bit. Because again, that's something sooner rather than later. That's an expense we're gonna have to incur. I've got that information. here.
We'll have to schedule that for another meeting. With our special call,
Yeah.
we gotta stick pretty close to the script, so we'll get back to that, after the first year, but appreciate the brief
Yes, sir.
update on that. Any more discussions on the clerk's budget, proposed budget? All those in favor of acceptance, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Garrett, thank you, sir.
Thanks, Garrett.
Thanks for the update.
Good job,
If you
Garrick.
have any questions after, come by.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is the 2020 proposed sheriff's budget. We're in the same boat here. Sheriff Arnold, you want to holler out loud or come up to, you can use the other Jim's microphone if you want, or?
Probably the biggest thing is trying to get 6 deputies and school resources.
Right.
Probably what my budget is mostly bigger on this year than anything. I'd increase the bailiffs, I think $5,000, but the state reimburses us $9 an hour on those.
Okay. I'll just, this proposed budget's $864,000, and then it's $854,500 on the disbursements, which is only up $30,000 over last year. So between retirement, all that stuff that goes up, and what you just said, that pretty much encompasses what the increase is. So I'd entertain a motion to accept, and then we may have some questions.
So moved.
Second?
Yes.
Motion made and seconded. Okay, now questions. Anybody have any? Man,
Where are we at right now on that? I know we lost.
We're still down below. I've got 5 and 1 injured, so there's me and 4 working.
24 hours a day.
I just want to
The
make
state
sure,
police is-
everybody was
The
aware
state
of that.
police is helping me out. Someone I call the captain, he does help me out.
Yeah, we've got one on injured reserve, so to speak, and then one
He's 4 to 6 weeks out.
trying to find another hire,
I just
which
want
is in your
everybody to be
budget.
aware of
So,
We talked the other day about vehicles.
Yes, the judges will give me the information so I can get what I need and then get back with.
then we'll get it ordered and get it in process.
Got a couple.
Yeah, yeah. Any more questions? All those in favor of acceptance of the budget signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Sheriff. Appreciate you.
While you're still on the sheriff's budget, I'd like to have a separate motion for the maximum salaries. A separate motion is attached to the end of the budget.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see that.
There has to be the maximum salaries, but it has to be in the minutes as a separate motion.
Do I have to read those?
No, you can read the totals that he's saying.
Okay,
the totals.
thank you for catching us on that. Let's advance. I'm getting there.
The smaller sheet.
Yeah. Annual order setting maximum amount for deputies and assistants pursuant to KRS 64530. Fiscal court shall fix annually the maximum amount, including fringe benefits, which the officer may expend for deputies and assistants. Fiscal Court of Union County, in compliance with state law, hereby sets the maximum amount which the sheriff of Union County may expend from fees during calendar year 2020 at $575,000 for deputies, assistants, and other employees. The maximum amount as set includes all amounts paid from fees for full-time salaries and wages, overtime wages, part-time salaries and wages, on-call pay, CLEP. What's the CLEP?
That's the state.
State,
They reimburse.
yes, state, yeah, on your bailiff stuff, and other bailiff and SRO salaries. I'd entertain a motion to set that.
So moved.
So moved by Rick, second by Magistrate Clemens. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, Lissa, for the catch. Next, we have the second reading from, of our budget amendment. You probably will notice that the budget amendment that we read second day of December was quite a bit more inflated than this one, to the tune of $550,000. We took the elevator out of it because it's not on the table at this moment, so it's not appropriate to have it in the budget. So